And coming up at 9:30, we're going to get into a deeper discussion with Kurt Whipple of the C. Curtis Financial Group, breaking down what will happen if the agreement isn't reached and what has already been damaged by the delayed vote. So,
what it means for the average viewer out there. I mean, when we go over this clip, how is it going to cost them money? How can you maybe avert some of those costs? We'll talk to him. That's coming up.
And we are back on the big brown couch for the first time this morning.
Yeah, last night the Senate passed a bill to avert falling over that fiscal cliff. That vote was 89-8, but that still has to head to the House. That means there's a lot to sort through.
Yeah. That's it right there. And we have with us Kurt Whipple of C. Curtis Financial Group to kind of break it down for us in layman's terms. So
he brought the bill with him. That's huge. And that's small compared to what they usually pass in Congress.
Yeah, typically it's hundreds and hundreds of pages. This is much smaller, about 157 pages, because of the fact that it's really just putting the word extension on a lot of the different bills that already exist.
Well, thank you for coming in, first of all. I know it's the
my
new
pleasure.
year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, brother.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you.
Your first interview of the new year. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. Excited. Always excited about a new year.
Well, I'm glad to talk money in the new year because I'm trying to make a little myself. but let's talk about what happened last night. You said it's full of extensions. That means we actually fell over that fiscal cliff because they didn't pass anything before last night. But what they're hoping to is pass it in the House so that this doesn't continue. So go over some of the high points of what happened.
Well, actually, the fiscal cliff would take place at midnight tonight because of the fact today's an off day, considered to be an off day. So it really kind of take place tonight at midnight. But the bottom line is that the House is going to meet today, convene today at about 12 noon. And then the hopes are that they're going to be able to pass something like the Senate bill or be able to send it back to the Senate. My guess is there's going to be some things that the House is going to want to change.
Well, how does John Boehner being reelected to his position have any bearing on this? I mean, could we see some stalling here until after, maybe say Thursday?
I think that's more than likely the case that we're going to see. I doubt we're going to see something happen today, but I would certainly like to hope that by Friday we could have something hardcore.
Does that mean anything for taxpayers that if we fall off the cliff at midnight tonight, as you say, 2 days, what does that mean?
Everyone's taxes would go up literally because we would immediately fall back to the 2002 tax brackets. That would mean that you have lower thresholds. So as people earn higher income based on inflation and other factors, they're going to be hitting these lower thresholds, and that's higher tax brackets for those thresholds. So everybody is going to pay more.
How do they arrive at the 400 per person, 450,000 per couple figure? I mean, we had a long time we'd heard $250,000, 250,000.
Right. That's a negotiating factor. Basically, both sides came together. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell basically said that both sides gave up something, and in this regard, I think that's what the Democrats gave up, was the idea that they'd raise it to the 450,000 per household.
There's so many things that are involved, and we're talking about unemployment, what do you call it, insurance going away. We're talking about a surcharge on investments that's going to be a 3.8% surcharge on investments that will be perhaps in place. When all this is said and done, is the average person sitting at home right now who does not make over 250,000, we're just saying that as a number,
right?
How are they going to fare on the other side of all of this, saying that this does go through in the next week or so?
To understand your question, if it goes through or doesn't go through?
If it goes through, how are they going to fare on the other side? Because something is going to happen. These numbers are going to, they are going to avert this for, even if it's a short amount of time.
Well, if it goes through according to the Senate bill that they came up with at about 2 o'clock this morning, most people would not see a change in their tax brackets, except for the very top tier, which would go to 39.6%. However, where everyone will be hurt is that Social Security taxes or withholding in their paycheck will go up for everyone by 2%. So that means somebody earning $50,000 a year would see about an extra $1,000 of taxes.
Wow, now that's a sobering statistic. It brings it right back down to you know, where most people are. I mean, the median income, right?
So, right.
No, but we're talking about the revenue side about all this. What about the debt ceiling that's coming up? I mean, that's a whole different side of the equation.
Well, interesting thing is the bill that was passed last night by the Senate really doesn't touch anything to do with the deficit or debt. It literally was about taxes. Had nothing to do with debt or deficit. So it's a very scary situation. And what we have to be concerned about is the credit rating of the United States, because many rating agencies have stated that if there isn't some kind of a bill passed in that regard for debt and deficit spending, we're going to see a credit reduction for the United States. So that's a scary situation.
And we already owe a lot of money to our friends across the globe.
It's now up to $16.4 trillion, according to Timothy Geithner.
We'll have to get you back in here another time so you can tell us what we should do with our money now.
I'd love to help with that.
When they pass some kind of legislation.
That would be great.
Kurt, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
So if somebody has any questions for you, Kurt, can they call you there at the firm?
Sure. The number is 734-844-3400.
All right. We'll put that on our website, myfoxdetroit.com.
All right. Thank you.